Roman to beat Bruno Sammartino's record.
Welcome to Junior and Junior, live here on the Dogs Maniac Entertainment YouTube channel. I am your host, Jared Running Jr., as always, joined by,
Dale Sanfield Jr.
and we got a show for you folks. We're going to be kicking it off with some MLB review here um, of the last week, folks, and then we will congratulate our men's college hockey national champions and close the show out with an album review. So, Dale, let's get it started. Let's kick things off here. MLB reviews. Um, I'll start with the Phillies. We'll talk about the Brewers. Well, first let's kick off with the Rays. You brought it
Yeah.
up. We should talk about them. Off to a 12-0 start to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
What a team!
I never thought the Rays could be this good. I mean, I knew they had decent pitching, but I didn't think the pitching would be this good. I didn't think the hitting would be this good. Like I knew they were a solid team, but I didn't know that they could be this good of a team. But I want to see, as a Brewer fan, I don't want them to touch the record because I like only sharing that with the Braves, and that's one less team that can top it. But to be honest, it'd be cool to see the Rays break it and see how far the Rays can go with it. If they can make it to 14-0, 15-0, 20-0, like it'd be cool to see how long. Because like I don't think we've seen this since like '87, since
Yeah,
when it happened with the Brewers. So it'd be cool to see how long it can go. And yeah, I mean, I think right now, I mean, I know it's still too early, but Braves or the Rays, I mean, might be the team to beat in the AL right now. It's just the way they're playing. But if they can keep this up, like they lose a couple games here and there, but if they can keep up the consistency, win key series, they can secure the one seed, and yeah, things could be scary in the playoffs.
the playoffs run through the Trop.
Through the Trop, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people have been bringing up the fact that the Rays started with Detroit, Washington, and Oakland on their schedule and
Mm-hmm.
contributed a lot of this early success to that. But I want to bring up a quote from Trisha Whitaker, the uh, reporter for the Tampa Bay Rays, Bally
Yep.
Sports South or whatever they're on.
Yeah,
Bally Sports
Southwest or not
Sun.
South Florida or whatever it is.
Okay,
I don't
well,
even know what it
hey,
is.
whatever they're on. I don't.
Yeah,
We don't acknowledge Valley Sports in this area.
no scam
No, but
artists.
a quote from Trisha Whitaker. Basically, she said something along the lines of, "You don't win 8 games on accident.
No.
Um, Even against the worst of teams, things go wrong. You drop games. This
Mm-hmm.
isn't her quote anymore. It's just me talking." But no, even against the worst of teams in the league, you do make mistakes. You drop games.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just accidentally win 9 straight and then
Yeah,
continue it against the Red Sox, who sure have been struggling, but
but still a relatively okay team.
yeah. I mean, they're not a team that you're expecting to see get the number one pick like the A's or Nationals.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, even last year the Oakland A's won baseball games. The Nationals won baseball games. No team goes 0 and 162. It just doesn't happen.
yeah,
And yeah, they're gonna beat a team that's better than them at some point. It's just gonna happen. That's how it
yeah.
has to happen. Um, it's gonna be interesting here. We got the Rays coming up with a series to Toronto, so that'll be a good test of the record. And then they got Houston after Cincinnati, so
But here's the thing. I think looking at what Houston's been doing the first couple series, I think the Rays have a chance. But like what you were saying with two, I think they at least lose one or two games within those two series.
yeah, they got Toronto, Cincinnati, and the White Sox before Houston. Um, they will drop a game somewhere. It's
Yeah.
not going to continue forever, but let's see if the series starting tomorrow and Toronto is going to be a record-breaking game. First, they can't look past the Red Sox today at 12-10,
Mm-hmm.
and you just go from there. But yeah, no, it's been a very impressive start for the Rays. 12-0, one more win away from tying that record.
Yep. And well, what kind of sucks about that is I'm just looking at the division right now. Boston, who's sitting at 5-7, is 7 games out. So how many more can Tampa win to keep with like putting the pressure on Boston and Baltimore? Like, how much farther can they go to kind of shut them out from postseason contention early?
Yeah, it's gonna get to a point for those lower teams in the AL East where wild card's your only hope because the division is essentially wrapped up so early.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm looking at it like already 7 games out. It's like, what if like say they go like how many months are in it or days in April? 31, right? I
Uh,
think
30? I think it's only
30,
30.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, anywho, like say if they like end up only losing 2 games at home month, you got a lot of ground to make up in
Yeah,
that division. Because like even the Yankees are 4 games out right now.
yeah, the division is anything can go wrong. Like
Yeah.
we were talking about the Brewers losing 12 straight in
Mhm.
that season. Um, so if something like that went wrong immediately, opposed to the
Yeah.
Rays still going on a run, after if something immediately like that goes wrong and you
Mhm.
lose 12 straight, then the division might be back in
Yeah.
contention. But I don't foresee that happening.
No.
Something like
Uh-uh.
that would really be the only hope for those teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays. This might be their only mention on this weekly uh, roundup, but it happened. So
Mhm.
Rays fans enjoy it, and with that, we will move on to the three teams that will be the core, the heart of this segment here, and will be here week in and week out. Um, Phillies, their early struggles continue to start the season. Oh, yikes. When am I going to get to talk about the Phillies having a good week where they win like 5 of 6 or something like that? Or
Probably when Harper comes back.
yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a second. But before we get to that, we got to talk about the series. Following last week's show, the Phillies had a weakened series with the Reds. The NLCS rings were handed out to all the members of the organization from last year that are still here. And they found wins 2 and 3 on the season, rolling off 2 straight Friday and Saturday by finals of 5-2 and 3-2 respectively. But in the series closer, they dropped a disappointing one 4-6, which would possibly be a sign of things to come in the Marlins series to start this week. Um, Things started off great as the Fish came to town. Gene Segura got his NLCS ring in his return to Philly, and the Fightings thrashed the Marlins, taking the opener 15-3. The next 2 games weren't as nice. Tuesday was a throwback to the Red Series as the Marlins won a 48 game that the Phillies led in, and the series closer and victory went to the Marlins 3-2. In good news for Philly fans, Rob Tapper Thompson had an update on the NLCS MVP Bryce Harper. Thompson said Harper can do everything but slide, and he knows the return date but won't be telling at this time. In other Harper news, we seen Bryce out taking grounders at first base amidst the Phillies' injury troubles at the position. Harper, of course, when he was a free agent, told the New York Yankees he'd be willing to play first base if wanted. He now appears ready to put that to practice for his team. Great news for Philly fans. Bryce Harper, way ahead of schedule. He could be back anytime. We were talking the end of May.
Mhm.
I'm thinking that that's definitely ahead of schedule. We've seen his hittings really ramped up. His um, fielding, he's been out there recently taking ground balls at first base and kind of fielding and getting a feel of things. I didn't realize that's what it was down to at this point. Rob Thompson telling everybody that it's just the slide they're waiting on. Well, that means he can hit. That means he can field. That means he can do everything, literally everything but slide. And you can't bring him back till he can slide because if he's put in a position where he needs to slide, I would see. This is the thing. This is the thing. I would play Bryce Harper even if he can't slide and tell him just don't slide. It's fine. If you're gonna get out, it's fine. Don't slide. We'd rather have you out there than not, even if it means that you might give an easy out. But this is the thing. Bryce Harper don't give two shits if he's supposed to slide or not. If he thinks it's going to help the team, he's going to slide and he's going to risk injuring that elbow because that's the kind of uh, play through the ball, hard nosed player Bryce Harper is. He's going to do what he has to do for his team, so you can't put him out there early because he will do something like that.
Yeah.
And I love him for it. So I'm not trashing him. I mean, I love that he's got that drive in him to play hard for his team. Every out matters. But yeah, that's what's probably holding him back. I'm sure if he was someone that you knew would listen to directions there not to slide, you could play him. But he won't. So it's still good news though, regardless. I mean, what about if we seen him come back in a couple weeks against the Yankees or against the first series on the road? Or I'm looking at the wrong team. I'm looking at the Rays schedule. Let's look at the Phillies schedule. That would help. What about if we seen him come back against Colorado or the Giants or the Cubs? We don't really need him against those teams, you wouldn't think, but maybe. What about if he stays on schedule? And this would be really where you would love to have him, and it's looking very good to have him. What about if he comes back for the back-to-back series on the road, Atlanta and the Mets? Those would be huge for the division. Well, it looks good, folks. And Dale, I'm going to hand it off to you to talk about the Brewers.
Yeah, I mean, Brewers, they started off hot. They were 6-1 after beating both the Mets and the Cubs, respectively. And then they ended up having their first homestand of the season. They ended up taking the first one with St. Louis 4-0. Well, beautiful game. I enjoy always kicking the Cardinals' butts. And then they ended up losing, which is okay. And then they beat St. Louis again. So they won the first three series, and then they traveled to Arizona. They lost 3-0. Then they won 7-1, and then they lost 3-7. So there's that. But no, overall, the Brewers so far this year playing good ball. Not really that disappointed in them. Not a little bit worried, but Brandon Woodruff ended up going down on the injured list a couple days ago with right arm inflammation. So he's on the 15-day IL. So that hurts, but he was supposed to pitch yesterday. But after the day before that, when they won 7-1, that was a well pitched game by Corbin Burns. Dude went 8, only gave up 1 hit. I believe struck out 9, I think it was. So it looked like he just needed to get in his rhythm of things after the first 2 kind of hard starts to the year for him. But if Milwaukee pitching can come together, got Freddie Peralta tonight on the mound against San Diego. Yeah, I think as long as pitching can go the way in Milwaukee, then it should be a solid year. I mean, there's really nothing for me to say because, like, I mean, it's still a bit early, but leading the division right now, and yeah, they then play San Diego and Seattle. They've played 14 straight games here. They've played, I think, 7 already. They got like 7 more, and then they go on a days off, and then they got a 5-game homestand, day off, and then another 3-game homestand. So they're going to be a little bit tired here coming up, but I feel like if they just come together still as a team and just play like they played against St. Louis, the Mets, that one game against Arizona, then I think they should be fine. But the rookies, though, Terrain, um, and Mitchell and Weimer, they're just stepping up. Like stepping up. They're playing good ball. A little bit concerned with Rowdy Tellez and his 146 average. I mean, it always seems to happen with any first baseman the Brewers have. Eric Thames, Chris Carter, Jesus Aguilar. Like all, it seems like all the big power first base guys hit like 146, 170. So yeah, but I'm not too worried. I think there's a couple key games you need to win. St. Louis, Seattle, beat Boston, and then make sure you win a couple of those series, and then you should be fine for the year. But yeah, Brewers are playing good, so go Brew Crew.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. No. I'm gonna be competing with those guys for a wild card. I foresee the Cardinals will come back. Hey.
Whatever you say.
Well, I once remember a young, plucky upstart team from Philadelphia leading the division through May, and me feeling good about it. And then they went on to finish like third in the division and missed the playoffs. So yeah, I don't buy into that division hype no more. Not after I was so wrongly wronged by the Phillies. But a team that also wrongs me. Um, I've decided this week to add the Twins to our weekly roundup. This is simply because, of course, myself and Dale cover our favorite teams already with the Phillies and Brewers, respectively. But that leaves one team out to dry. The Twins. The Twins are the team I see most often being under 2.5 hours away from the Twin
Yeah.
Cities and Target Field. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say Dale sees them the most often. I
No,
don't want to play words in his mouth. Um,
no, but no, but I agree. I do see them the most often. Like it could be against any team, and it's like mostly the Twins because, like, yeah, we live less than 2 hours or just about 2 hours away from them. So
yeah. So from now on, the occupying the third spot of teams that we will cover week to week will be the Twins. And let's kick that off. Twins keep a rolling to start the season. The Twins started off the year at home quite nice. Well, first of all, before we get into the Astros series, I just want to run down so people know where the Twins were standing after last week because we didn't talk about them. Last week, the Twins were 4-2 coming into their home opener with the Astros. And yeah, let's now get into that. They quickly took games 1 and 2 from the defending champs by scores of 3-2 and 9-6. The series finale wasn't quite their day though, as the Astros would find the W 1-5, but that didn't worry the Twins. They would stay at home and look to get right back on the right path against AL Central and hated, fierce rival, the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox would jolt a little energy out of the Twinkies, opening the series with a 3-4 victory, but the home team might have been down, but they weren't out. They would settle for games 2 and 3 and a series victory. Tuesday a 4-3 victory, and yesterday a 3-1 notch in the win column. The Twins currently sit at 8-4 and lead the AL Central by 1.5 games over the Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, this is a team that's looking good. So
yeah,
I think that this is going to be a good team for us to cover. 8-4, leading their division right now, but we'll see.
yeah. Oh yeah, when and like Sonny Gray, man, like
Yeah,
phenomenal pitching. Like,
Sonny Gray looks amazing.
mm-hmm,
Joe Ryan's Joe Ryan. They got Tyler Mahle. They got um,
mm-hmm,
Pablo Lopez. They got some pitching now. Their lineup does look a little weird with some of the names they have in there, but they just called up Eduardo Julian, the standout WBC player for Team Canada. Uh, Seemed like just a matter of time till he got called up, and he officially got the call yesterday. Yeah, this is going to be a
yeah,
fun team to cover, even if the Phillies are continuing to shit the bed. Um,
yeah. And I mean, they got some young guys. They got some like older guys like Christian Vasquez, and Correa still young, Kyle Farmer, like yeah. I
It's
mean, yeah, like what you were saying. I think it's gonna be a fun year to watch the Twins to see what they can do.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe when Junior gets out to their first Twins game of the year, we'll do a vlog for the channel. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't
And we
want to.
discussed the overrate prices of the team store and
Yeah, we do the guess. We do this game in the team store where we try and guess the price. We'll have to play that. Yeah,
yeah.
and you'll see how ridiculous team store prices are. But I bet everyone knows.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like one year I think it was what? It was like a jersey and we thought it was like $150 or something because it was like one of those fanatic ones or something. It ended up being like 200, $300 for a guy that wasn't even on the team anymore. It's like,
Yeah, no, we'll not be paying that. And then
no.
Dale
Luckily I
convinced me to
didn't buy
buy
a
this.
Gary Sanchez jersey or t-shirt because
Whoa.
he's gone the next year.
Yeah, and you convinced me to buy that damn Joe Ryan jersey. Changed our jerseys in the off season, so now it's an outdated jersey. I paid $175 for it because I buy a new one this year. Would have been
Well, like
after.
I knew they were rebranding. That's not my fault.
I'm pissed with the Twins.
Yeah, now you gotta spend additional money on getting a new jersey.
Oh, fuck that. I ain't buying a new jersey. Well, we're going to go to an ad break. When we come back, we will probably be able to wrap the show up with both the congratulations to our hockey national champions as well as our album review.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are watching Junior and Junior live here on the Dogs Maniac Entertainment YouTube channel. You folks want to keep up with Junior and Junior? Head over to the Instagram _Junior and Junior _ You can also catch us live here every Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time at the Dogs Maniac Entertainment YouTube channel. And for additional content, head over to the TikTok, Dogs Maniac Entertainment. Hey, and we are back here, folks. That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right, Dale. Time to congratulate the hockey national champions. You know what my favorite part about this segment is, Dale?
What's that?
It's the fact that we don't have to congratulate the Minnesota Gophers. Ain't nothing golden about those fuckers. All right. I said that these guys would get a good congratulations. I had them in the national championship. They were my pick to win it. So yeah, happy to be able to do this for them. Especially how they broke the hearts of Gopher fans. That's my favorite part about it, the way they did it. Congratulations to the Quinnipiac Bobcats on capturing the 2023 Men's Hockey National Championship. It's the first championship for Rand Pecknall and the program, and in my opinion, it couldn't have happened to a better group. I look forward to covering next season with year one of college hockey coverage concluding. I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in, and I hope we can provide you folks with even better coverage next season. One last time, let's say congrats to the Quinnipiac Bobcats as well as the Wisconsin Badgers on winning the NCAA Division I hockey titles. Yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations to both teams, and I look forward to what we can do next season. It has been a very successful first year covering college hockey. And here's to year two, because it's going to happen. We're going to be right back here next October when college hockey is rolling back around. We'll talk about a whole season and roll everything back. But yeah, first season out of the way, and we'll look to improve before you guys see us for year two. All right, with that, we can move on to the album reviews. See, college hockey, it's fast because we don't have to talk about games now. But it also means it's
Yep.
off the docket for good. So we're gonna have to replace it. Otherwise, we got two segments. we'll figure that out. That's not on air stuff for you viewers because we like to surprise you with what we talk about.
Yes.
But what I can tell you is this week on Junior and Junior, it's time to look at an album from a punk rock royalty band. It's This Is Why, the latest album from Paramore. Coming out February 10th, 2023. Now the time for talk is over. It's time to hear what Junior and Junior has to say. Dale, the floor is yours. We should make a
I
shirt
have
that
to say,
says that.
I'm not a big punk rock guy, but this was a pretty solid album. Pretty solid. Be honest with you, yeah. I mean, like I was just saying, like, not a punk rock guy, but the album's great. A couple songs that I really enjoyed were the title song to the album, This Is Why, Figure Eight, Thick Skull. A couple of those songs were pretty decent. I really didn't have a least favorite song. I mean, there were a couple that were somewhat mediocre, man, but like they weren't like, oh, I hate this song or anything. So, as usual with most of these albums, I keep them short and sweet so you can talk all about them because I know you enjoy too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna probably give this one a seven out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, we need to make a shirt that says, the floor is yours, Dale, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
Yep.
Yep. All right. This album that I had alluded to last week being delayed due to technical difficulties, canceled show a few weeks ago before the
Mm-hmm.
move. It's a moment I'm excited to do here. It's a review of an album from Paramore. As I said, they're punk rock royalty. Who doesn't know Paramore? They're just huge. Yeah, at least no Misery Business. Well, let's talk about their latest album. Let's get into the actual album. My initial thoughts of this album back in February when I first listened to it for the review was the first four tracks were rocking. Then it took a little bit of a dip on the second half. Wasn't exactly there the same. I would stick to those feelings now. It's a very good album with lots to
Mm-hmm.
offer, and I'm not saying the second half is bad, but there's a noticeable dip in quality for me compared to the opening tracks. My favorite track is the second track and one of the singles, The News. I also feel as though any of the opening four tracks could be up there, Running Out of Time, C'est Comme Ça, or the title track, This Is Why. Least favorite, though, was not a competition. There's no questions about it. It's easily Liar, and that's simply because it just doesn't vibe with me like the rest of the album. I'm not going to trash it, but also I can't praise it, and I feel it's at least in some way possible for me to praise everything else on the album to even a small degree. And Liar isn't exactly worthy of praise. Rating wise, I'm going to give it a nice 8 out of 10. At lowest, I'd go a 7, but I'd be more likely to go a 9 if anything. I think a solid 8 is perfect for it. And with that, we quickly did that album review. I thought Paramore would get a lot more time on here. Maybe we should have been reviewing Riot too, because I had that ready. That it was supposed to be a double feature. It was supposed to. It was. It was supposed to be a double feature. I was going to do Riot, and this is why, because I done double features for other artists. But yeah. Instead, we're just going to move to what's going to be on next week's show, and we're going to close the show out here. We're just over 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Next week, 72 Seasons from Metallica hits the airwaves tonight. And then next week, you can catch our review of it right here at the Dogs Maniac Entertainment YouTube channel on Junior and Junior live Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time.
And also don't forget MLB coverage. We will have that all continuing all season, with primarily being the Phillies, Brewers, and Twins, with other highlights around the league if something were to happen, like if a record's being chased, like what Tampa's doing, or if there's a record that people don't want to have to be chased, like how many strikeouts, like Chris Davis strikeout mark, somebody ends up doing that. Yeah, it'll all be covered here.
Yeah, folks, we will continue to add new segments throughout the year. We will never get complacent. We will always be looking to improve the show and provide a better quality program for you folks that dedicate your time to watching us here weekly.
Mm-hmm.
With that,
what I can say is I've been trying. I'm still trying to get into it. I know Jared knows this a little bit. I've been trying to get some surprises out, seeing if I can get stuff done for this show. So stay tuned. Maybe I can get something good to happen here within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm hoping like what you're saying. I'm hoping we can get some interviews in here. Some surprises in general. But there's a few interviews I'd like to reach out on, but I would like to wait a little bit on just because of other things going on in their life. There's a specific name I have in mind, but I don't want to say anything in case it can't come to fruition. But I do have somebody that, from when I first talked about interviewing them to now, has had a lot go on, and I would love to have them come on and talk about all of it. Some big achievements in their life, and yeah. We'll see, though. With that, folks, we're going to call it a close here. Thank you for watching. Come back right here next week. Catch next week's show. We'll talk MLB, as Dale said. We'll talk 72 Seasons from Metallica. Yeah, folks, thank you. And Dale, you want to say your little closing remarks?
Yeah, just thank you for watching Junior and Junior. I will see you guys next week. Take care, and wherever you guys are, if you're in the Midwest, start enjoying the beautiful weather.
That's for sure. That's for sure, folks. We'll see you guys right back here next week. Oh, and make sure if you're a viewer, check out the Universe video coming out in 3 hours at noon. Me and Andrew's Universe. Check that out if you're into wrestling. All right, folks.